Welcome to Tim Sonner. Ha.
What's up? So today what we're going to be talking about is these poor oppressed AI agents. AI has been catching a lot of hate lately, and you know what? We're here to enable these agents to succeed and enable them to thrive. So what we're talking about doing today is we're enabling them to drive. That's right, folks. We are giving terminal-based harnesses such as Grok Build the ability to drive a computer. So what was that just came out like a couple days ago? It was like I don't remember. It's called like Grok Hub or whatever. It's like the cursor thing, right? So it spins up cloud VMs. And it costs like $250 a month. So I'm not quite that entitled, and I don't really have a use case for that, but at some point I probably will be. But until then, I figured this how to do this like a long time ago, and I was just kind of curious if I could do it with Grok Build, because I've been using that harness a little bit lately. And so, let's get into that. So I just added this skill, and I just called it like Agent Workstation Drive, and it kind of explains like how to spin up a container. We actually figured out how to do like Wayland and GNOME 50 and, RDP sessions like that. So this is kind of like a multi-pronged skill. But the cool thing is like, I can do something like, let's do like a new session here. And I'm going to say something like, hey, use our drive skill to open a new Chrome tab and go to, let's see if I still have this on my clipboard. Hell yeah, I do. So let's use that. And then I'm just going to say skill is in user/temp/agent skills. Just browser demo for now. Play video once there. Then click then hit next track, something like that, just so we know. And this was super revolutionary when Claude Desktop was able to do the computer use thing. I actually got a Claude subscription for like a month just so I could mess with that. And, that's kind of like old hat now, like a couple months later. But during that testing, I was kind of wanting to, figure out how to let an agent drive, an operating system. And so, all the security people are just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're letting it control your computer and this and that. But it's like, dude, you can't, Skynet wasn't built in a day. All right. So you gotta enable these agents to know how to do this, because if they don't know how to do it, then they're not empowered. You have to empower them with capabilities, and that's typically the verbiage that we're using these days. And so what I'm looking for here, so it must have changed that screen because I think I was in the terminal just now. So it's driving right now. I don't have the fancy little orange edges that Claude Desktop has, but let's see if it goes. And so this is literally like Grok Build running this, right? So it's just running out of the terminal. I've done this with, I'm trying to think the other harness that I was using this with. Maybe Hermes, like something like that. But I made this skill like multi agent. So I made it like as agnostic as possible. And I think I do have like a video maybe I put up a while ago. This album's sick too, by the way. So like one of my all-time favorites, DJ Crush, Toshinori Kondo, Kyoku. It is fire. So that's really cool. So I told it to hit the next button, and let's see if it does that. And the other thing is I have to not touch the screen, right? Because if you touch the screen, it'll potentially mess it up, right? So it totally did that though. It just hit the next button. So I just wanted to show that off. I thought that was pretty cool, right? And so we can enable a harness, we can empower a harness to use a computer, right, locally, right, very easily. So this is in control of my desktop, scope to my user's permissions, right? I'm not an admin account, but anything user level it can do, right? So let's cruise back over here, and then I can hear this in my headphones, and it's annoying because I have some other tracks playing. But yeah, so like that was sick. Like I think that was pretty rad. Great job. And so next thing we're going to do is we're going to have it spin up a just like a VM, right? So how about this? How about let's just go to the same exact page on YouTube in the VM. So let's see if we can like maybe get it to one shot this. Okay, I said VM, I meant container. So we're doing Docker containers. We're doing GNOME 50 and we're doing Wayland, and yeah, let's just go for it. So in that vein, spin up a new Azure Linux container using our, I can't remember what I called it, like GNOME skill. Navigate to the same site inside the container. Validate username. Actually, I'm just going to keep it simple. I watched this video by, I don't know, some dude that is like runs Anthropic stuff, and he's like makes $1 gazillion a year doing like agentic stuff. And he was like, basically like, dude, just keep stuff simple. Let these agents do their thing. Let it cook. And we don't have to be as specific with these newer models. Also, I'm running Grok 4.6. I'm sure you could do this with 4.5. I just jumped onto 4.6 because it was available, and I was like, okay, might as well. And same price anyway, so why not? So yeah, let's just do that. Let's just fire this off. Also, I don't know is it gonna do, I'm going to just say like make sure GNOME 50, because I want to make sure that it is going to do that. And so it's just kind of cooking, yada yada yada. We already have an image, an Azure Linux image that I downloaded, and then so let's see. Image exists, no containers, so it's going to create a container, and hopefully it figured out that I want to use it for GNOME 50, and I did just see it mention GDM, so that was cool. It sounds like it's calling it AZL GNOME-YouTube, so it's like Azure Linux GNOME YouTube. And RDP server started, no browsers, need to install Firefox. Gross. No, Chrome only, no Firefox. Okay, so this is kind of cool. So like, did you just see that? It just clicked it, and then so this was one of the things that like I was like running into when I was getting this going, right? So I just was like, figure this out. And so that's like, I created this flow, with the agent, just like troubleshoot these kind of scenarios where it's like, it doesn't give you much information. It just says like, the session ended, like whatever. So it is going to figure this out on the back end. Like it is guaranteed like churning. I could probably pop that open and see what it's doing like in the terminal, so it's not just a black screen here. Let's see, install no fuse. Oh yeah, something about fuse stub. So it's definitely cooking right now. DNF5 in the container. So I think it did like close that window. It closed the RDP window for sure. And it did run into a thing with UAC, right? So it was like being prompted for credentials for the VM that it's spinning up. So it knows the credentials, right? It created the container, not the VM. It created the container. So it knows the credentials. So what it will do is it will like hard code the credentials like into a script kind of. And so it's not getting stuck on UAC. And so we'll see. This got stuck again. I'm actually surprised it got stuck this many times. But this is good because we will do some reinforcement learning here. Maybe that's the wrong term, but we have this skill kind of like baselined, but it's still kind of missing a few things. So yeah. Even as root environment, if some root consolidated, but maybe not for. So I'm gonna pull up. I think I just gave it some really crappy instructions too. Let's see. Session dropped after connect. Likely the fuse. Blah 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 blah. And then clean restart the GNOME stack with fuse. I actually don't even know really what like fuse is. I know it's something to do with like the file system, I think. Let's see, convert the start script. Yeah, carriage return line feed. Let's see how this is going. It's funny. Okay, I'm gonna look some up real quick. So there's this skill in here somewhere, agent skills. I want to say it is. I just added it recently, so like 15 minutes. Yeah, let's use this GNOME Wayland RDP. I think this is the one. And then I'm gonna just throw this back into the terminal because I'm gonna just say make sure to use skill as a lot of issues have been solved there. And we'll see how that goes. Reconnecting, it is going to click there. Oh, let's go. So we got our desktop. It just needs to install like the, the widgets in the background and all that good stuff. So this is good. Let's cruise back over to here and say, funny. So it figured it out. It hasn't even gotten to these. So I'm just going to go cancel. I'm going to go cancel there. And then cancel there. And then I'm going to say, let's install, desktop, toolbar, etc. Let's see where we're at. So it did kind of figure it out, and that's pretty cool. Oh, I see a toolbar. What do we got? Let's cruise back over to here. Oh, it made it. Sick. Dude, so that's rad. So it kind of like, it stumbled for a minute. It had to think about it, right? But it eventually made it through. I was there to like steer it a little bit, but I actually didn't need to. I actually didn't even get to my prompts. So that's pretty dope. And so, yeah, what we have here is, I guess it's Azure Linux with GNOME. And we're running, let's see, do I even have a terminal installed? We do have settings. Or do we? Let me do this. Let's see here. Let's install a terminal. Yeah, I mean, it just jumped back into it. I was in the middle of typing and it just jumped back in. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Can you install a terminal? So I can get system information, use that super trendy command to get OS info that people run. I don't remember what it is. I never use it. It's not my thing, but I think for like a video, it's a good just like demonstration. Is that what it is? Is it's fast fetch? And so this is kind of like a hybrid system. It is like Azure Linux, Fedora 44. So we're doing all like the desktop stuff from Fedora 44. Funny. Okay, so it says we have a terminal now. So let's see what that's all about. Let's get it. I'm actually curious if it's going to run it ran it. Like I didn't even have to run it. And that's exactly what I was looking for. So yeah, we can see we're in a container x8664. We did drop this image about 12 hours ago. Yeah, GNOME 50 running with Wayland. There's your theme. Yeah, so I guess that's kind of it, is like you can get these containers to like you can get these agents to drive containers and just like give them the wheel. It's like container, take the wheel, right? And yeah, we're just trying to empower these containers and just give them some capabilities because they need to know these things. And this is super exciting to me. I mean, this is basically doing what that like new cursor, whatever, does. But you could run this like on your own home server, right? This would be like poor man's Perplexity computer, right? So yeah, go check that out. I will put a link to Zeskills. And there's also, this will actually install like this as a skill for the agent as well. So it adds the capability. Nice work. You're freaking awesome. And also, like when people talk about how dumb AI is, it's like probably operator error. It's probably the operator that's really dumb. Like it's a layer 7 issue, guaranteed. Layer 7, layer 8, So, yeah. So you should have this also, like there's an install issue. Yeah, GNOME Wayland RDP. So you could use this skill and say like, I don't want to do like GNOME. I don't know. Maybe I'm like, hey, let's do KDE instead. Spin up another box. Let's see. Can we do? I'm trying to think. Yeah, let's just do that. So yeah, it's kind of like a GNOME. I just did the skill based on GNOME just because I use GNOME, but yeah, we could probably try and do something with KDE, and it will probably just work. But yeah, like pretty freaking cool. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to share that because I just thought that this was super fun. And so what does this say? GNOME skill points KDE plasma at the XRDP container path. I'll load that skill and look for an existing plasma image so we can spin up another box. There's an existing KDE. It's going to pull the Hannah Montana Linux. That's awesome. I was about to suggest like maybe we should use the Hannah Montana Linux. So just, yeah, soon we will be into HML with I think Wayland. Let's see. I hope it doesn't do like the older version. XRDP, not GNOME. Let's let me escape this real quick. And I want to make sure we're using the latest KDE and Wayland Composito. I don't need to put that. So yeah, we're going to keep that super simple. There was this video and it was for Y Combinator. It was like, well, shoot. Yeah. Subs. We got subs here. And so they just did something really recently. And, you know, obviously if you're a Stanford graduate or whatever that walked out at your graduation, you're not going to watch any of these, but somewhere in here, there was one from some dude, and it was this guy. So, Boris Cherney. And yeah, smart, intelligent guy. He's an engineer. He does engineering stuff. And he was basically like, keep it simple. These models are smart enough. You don't have to overspec everything. You know, you can do, you can go through and audit skills, like, you know, cut things out as necessary. There was some word that I couldn't remember that I have to look up now. It was called like sounds like appellation to me, but it was like ablation. Let's see. It's like, and there's like a word. It's like, let's see. There is a word, AI, ML, abolition, cutting things out. And I can't, ablation, that's what it is. So yeah, so Boris talks about, you know, ablation in here and what that is. And so like I can understand what he was talking about, but I kind of like looked it up as well. And it's like, you know, yeah, you can remove everything, get rid of all your skills, get rid of all that crap, and then just line by line decide what is actually doing work. So that video is fire. I just happened to catch that in my feed and I saw it and I watched it and I was like, that's dope. So don't sleep on that one. That's really good. And then let's see where we're at. So it is setting up some stuff. Yeah, he was talking about doing like, I don't know, like super long runs, like just multiple days running stuff. Like I might have something cook for like, I don't know, half an hour, maybe an hour, but like I am by no means doing just multi-day loops. But with a skill like this that I'm kind of demonstrating, like you could definitely have a central like management agent and tell it like, hey, delegate to sub-agents and have them drive around and do things. And like, I mean, I just demonstrated, like, so we're not confined to the browser. You know, we have containers that we can run. We can do whatever we want inside of a container. So, you know, you could probably, you know, give it some credentials or some kind of like, you know, tokens, like however you want to handle authentication, you know, and yeah, essentially like give an agent, you know, free reign to go like sign into a Microsoft box or something like that. And then it's like, you know, start sending out emails. I mean, and that's kind of like the concept of like botnet swarms and things like that. So, I mean, you could have a swarm that's like, yeah, a bunch of agents running containers like this, right? And these containers are pretty lightweight. Like they're not, this machine's modest, you know? So, yeah, this is very approachable, I feel like, for a lot of people. And, yeah, that is, we called it like, it was like broken into like 3 different skills, but what's that? Agent Workstation Drive, and then GNOME Wayland RDP. I am probably just going to like, I'll add a separate KDE skill. And then, let's see, what do we do? Agent Workstation Drive skill family for RIP. Oh, sweet. So it actually put an agent's MD in here. Let's check this out. So now we have like an agent. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You got here by cloning or being pointed at this directory. Oh yeah. Okay. Now I remember. So yeah, you basically pull down this like base repo, and then, you know, your agent will read the agents.md, and then it will be like, bam, have these capabilities. And I wanted it to be just, you know, non-harness specific. So you can use like whatever harness you like and just use this skill, and then just give the harness the ability to drive a desktop and drive containers. And, you know, you could probably do the same thing with like VMs if you really wanted to. I'm using less and less VMs these days and doing more stuff with containers. So, you know, I just think this is super fun. And then the other thing too is like, I've been super into Linux for a long time, and I avoided Windows for, you know, the longest time, like decades, just because I didn't want to buy a Windows license. You know, so like now it's so easy to just have a version of Windows, and like it's so cheap that like that's not a barrier to entry anymore for me, right? So I guess like I don't hate on Windows as bad in that respect. Like it's just like, yeah, cheaper free Windows licenses, and then you know, you can run containers from the desktop. And so it's like, if, you know, you have some tool that works in Linux that, you know, you just really have to have, then, you know, absolutely. But whatever, I'm still going to probably, you know, use Linux here and there. But this laptop is running Windows. So let's see where we're at. Let's see here. Yeah, I really wish I could just put like music on here, and like, it'd be cool if you guys could listen to this. This is a banger. Whatever this is good. Yeah, this is Boris. Boris is Slay Dog in it. This song's banger. So anyway, that's what I'm listening to there. Let's go back here. So we have 13396 is the port. And then what did we do for the user on this? It looks like KDE user. And it's still kind of doing some stuff. KWin failed to start. So it is still just kind of troubleshooting some stuff. So let's see. Scripting. Need to bake set cap. Set cap. Would that be like set capabilities? So excellent. I did notice there was some flags. So what we're doing in these containers to get them running is using like headless GNOME. So, and it is driving right now, and it is connecting, and it has remoted in to the container, and it is just a black screen right now, just blank screen. So I'm gonna see what it's doing. I try not to mess with it, but mess with the screen if possible. But I think we're good when it's just a black screen. So KRDP connected. Something. And then what was that like desktop called? It was like called like Fast Free or Fast something. It was like displayed the info. I can't even remember what that was. And this actually reminds me. So there is like a little bit of friction between going from like PowerShell to Bash for the agents to like run commands. So I actually might just like maybe try to do a skill that's just, what would you call that? Like, I don't want to call it like parsing, but maybe it is kind of like parsing, but yeah, just a skill to go from like PowerShell to Bash might be kind of cool. Let's see. It says it's running, but Plasma Shell is not. It's got some zombie process IDs. This is so much fun. Like I enjoy this so much. It's just super fun. Just jamming out, watching an agent control my computer. Or control a container. Well, yeah, it's controlling my computer, and then it's controlling a container. And then it's obviously didn't succeed on this go round. And so I do have faith that this will eventually buff out. PowerShell ate the quotes again. Start-pw.sh. Pipewire. Okay, that's a little bit more progress. And give it a few minutes to take its screenshot. So what this is doing is it's just taking a screenshot of the screen, and then it's just kind of doing inference based on that, OCR, or it's using OCR or whatever. I don't really know how that all like terms out. I think what like the O in OCR is probably like optical or something like that, or ocular maybe. I don't know, but it's somehow related to like vision and like how the agent sees what's on the screen or sees an image. And then it's able to like take a look at that using inference, and then make decisions based on that screenshot. And it's the same thing as like when you copy paste something into like a chat, So where we at? Yeah. Nope. It's asking me if we want to keep grinding. I'm gonna say keep grinding. Almost there. You got this. There may be. Yeah, I don't need to tell it that. I think it'll figure it out. I was gonna tell it to like use some lessons learned from the GNOME implementation of this, but I think it's gonna figure it out. Let's see, search 9 websites, fetch 1 website. Yeah, also like the Grok search has been pretty fire lately. I actually stopped using Perplexity. Like Perplexity has become like to me like a little bit less special in the last, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months. I just don't think it's like that cool. I mean, I think like a year ago even it was kind of like, that's pretty, like it was pretty cool. Like, but now I don't know. I just don't think it's as like special as it used to be. So, authentication error has occurred. Token supplied to the function is invalid. Sweet, so it got the error. And so yeah, like this would be, you could use any kind of workflow on this. I mean, I'm sure that um you could use it for like, gaming or something like that. Like, I mean, this probably isn't the best thing for that where you need like split second decisions. But you could definitely use something like this theoretically for like every like 5 or 10 seconds, a movement is made or something like that. Or like, you could definitely actually, now that I think about this, one of the features that they're promoting with this whole like Grok, whatever thing it is, the new thing that they're doing with, I should probably figure out what it's called. I can't, I gotta look it up. Let me see what it is. This song is also a banger. This is a really good one. Let's see. So it is like, oh, Grokbot. That's what it is. Yeah. Okay. So Grokbot is what I was talking about. So this came out like, I don't know, like a couple days ago. But one of the things that they talk about is how you can show a bot how it's done, right? And so I don't know the exact implementation of how they did this, but if you ask me like how to implement this feature with what we have right now, I would just tell the agent, I would say, hey, I'm going to show you a task. Take a screenshot every like 2 seconds or 1 second, like whatever interval, right? Take a screenshot or record the screen, like however you want to do it, but watch what I do as the end user, right? So we might even just be able to do this, like let this finish out. Don't touch the mouse. So something is happening with the way that is being implemented. So we have multiple. Okay, so it seemed pretty confident on that. Like it was like, let's knock this out. So we'll see if this is the turn that gets it done. And I'm actually wondering if maybe WSLC itself borked. I had to do a restart the other day because I couldn't connect to the machines, and it might have just been some kind of bug in the network stack or something like that. It said something about wrong version number. And maybe that's it, is it was actually trying to use the GNOME skill too much. And back to what Boris was saying, I probably could have just created like a new skill or maybe just done something like that. I do kind of like to reuse skills if possible. I'm like, because it's already there. It's actually already in the context too of the session, so that's kind of handy as well. I mean, especially for like prompt caching and financials. Yeah, we're saving tokens, saving the planet. So by being smart. So that is still just kind of cooking here. But yeah, that Grok bot is pretty cool. I mean, definitely like I think it's super cool. It would be like a turnkey kind of thing. Like this is kind of like what Buzz or Slack is being used for. And yeah, I actually wonder if I have Buzz installed on here. I can't remember. I was messing with that the other day, and maybe my agent's still running on my server and all that. Which workstation was that? Was that this one? Buzz, yeah, maybe I don't have it on this one. But yeah, the idea is that you can, interact with your agents, from your phone. You can interact through, your desktop. Zendesk, I have no idea what Zendesk even is. It's not like a, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't use it. I don't really care. Uh, but yeah, kind of cool. So it rebuilt the image with OpenGL and Portal Auth start scripts. So it looks like, okay, there's our IP address, username, full address. It's using command key, so it blew out the cache credentials from command key. And that is taking a minute to connect. Usually that is not good. Yeah, that definitely failed. It's interesting. I wonder why it's not using a like username and password combo. And why is that S there? That's kind of interesting. Okay, so it's saying it can't even reach the container. So there's a connectivity issue. So like, is that port actually, exposed and reachable? And this kind of is getting back to like, I think that the network stack might be borked. I'm not entirely certain on this. I do like that to where it used the username and password, so that could be better. We'll see. Well, I'm thinking a reboot is probably in order, honestly, on this one. Yeah, so it's even kind of just like, why would it fail now? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to reboot on this one because I do think that the network stack is borked. And I think, WSLC is like new enough that some of this stuff is kind of breakable. And yeah, like Windows just breaks sometimes. It's just how it is. So, um, yeah, NPLA, or is that what it is? And just from like doing this before, I'm like, okay, I think I recognize this. So we're gonna give this like one more chance here, and then I'm just gonna jump out of here and stop the video. But I will definitely get I will get this figured out, and then we'll be able to have the latest KDE Plasma with Wayland running in a container. And so it looks like it's actually like trying to fall back to like X free RDP and like WL. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. So Windows NLA is the blocker. I'll try a local account username form and capture a K1 screenshot from inside. Screenshot also needs portal authentication. I can add KDE authorization for screenshot too. Yeah, so what was it? WL free RDP. So the WL is Wayland. Okay, let's go. So we got to figure out the Windows NLA blocker here. And yeah, I'm just going to go with that. I think we're really close. But it's kind of just boring, just like watching this churn. So yeah, I'm not going to just make a gazillion hour long video here. Just churning on this, but yeah, I'll put the skills in the video description, and then you should be able to just have an agent drive, and yeah, drive they shall. So, all right, Viva Skynet.
Thanks for watching Tim Sonner. Like and subscribe for more. God bless. Mwahahaha, ha, ha.